Hey everyone, talking about Oqachol by PRIN. This is Ocean Waves in Thai, and it's by PRIN Lomros, a Thai perfumer who has several brands including Strangers and Persona, does amazing stuff. The name might feel a little bit misleading. It's supposed to smell like ocean waves crashing at sunset, but it's not aquatic, that's for sure. So it's not one of those things with like a overdose of cologne or a lot of, really heavy aquatic notes. It's really more the ambergris, and this, I believe, has real ambergris as well as real musk. So it is intense, but I love it. So the notes in this are, get ready for a big-ass list: Siberian musk, golden ambergris, Osmanthus absolute, Petitgrain, Mandarin, Choya, Nakh absolute, Blackcurrant absolute, Buddha wood, Choya, Loban, Yuzu, Orris butter, Fenugreek, violet leaf, orange flower absolute, golden Champaca absolute, Mimosa absolute, Olibanum, coffee absolute, chamomile, Keemun tea, rose de mai absolute, Spikenard, seaweed absolute, cocoa absolute, Cumin seed, nutmeg, Nagarmotha, Oakmoss, birch tar, Cade, tobacco absolute. So yeah, there's a lot of absolutes in there, but that just shows how extreme this is in terms of really high quality ingredients, really natural distilled stuff. So wow, I love it. But caveat, you have to like really intense fragrances for this. And I'm picky in the sense that at this point, with having tried so many fragrances, I really want something intense and I really crave that kind of new experience again. But I also don't really usually like Animalic stuff. So it can be a little, and I don't like, patchouli that much in certain, or oud. So it's hard to find stuff that kind of fits my taste for, this is really intense and creative and unique and I still like it. This does. I'll say right now it is pricey. It is $320 for a 30 mil, which is basically the equivalent of like $1,000 for 100 mil. I don't think it's overpriced. I will say that because the ingredients in this are so high quality that I think it completely justifies it. This doesn't seem to be a case of a fragrance house that's just way overcharging for something when it really costs them barely anything to make. This is only limited to 2 batches too, so it's not some big run of commercial perfume or something like that. But as for the actual smell, if you've smelled Zoologist Tyrannosaurus Rex, I think you have a good idea of what kind of vibe you're getting from this. It's just so good. It's so intense, smoky, spicy, animalic. But the way that animalics are done here just kind of goes with everything else, because everything else is so intense too, so it doesn't make me shy away from it. There's some sweetness from some of the like floral and citrusy things like that, and there's some saltiness. By the dry down, it's very like authentic ambergris-ish, but not in that kind of Paco Rabanne Invictus like cliche, fake, nauseating sort of way. This is just so good. So would I buy it? Aside from the price, no. Because I already have Zoologist Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's a rare full bottle worthy fragrance for me, and that one I would not wear out in public, that's for sure. I just love it so much that if it's like winter, I want to be able to smell it myself and just enjoy it at home when my wife is not home, I guess, because I don't think she or anyone else really wants to smell a fragrance like that on somebody. But this isn't quite that strong. I mean, that one, for example, on a test strip, lasted 8 days, and I've never known how long it could last on my skin because I would have showered by the time it's been, more than 24 hours or whatever. But this one definitely has good longevity as well. It's not as crazy as that in terms of the intensity, but I don't think it needs to be. You have to birch tar, Cade, like really smoky stuff. The spice here, you don't have to be a big spice lover. This isn't over the top spice, but it's very spicy just in terms of like the way the kind of burnt notes go with other stuff, and the woods a little bit. Not so much as in like, oh, that smells like pepper. It does have a sort of mature leaning old school a little bit, but not dated at all. Just like, obviously this is not a designer fragrance. This isn't going to be something that it's going to smell like anything at Sephora or Ulta or Macy's, Nordstrom, those type of places. This is what niche is about to me, where it's like, yes, this is unique. Yeah, it smells so high quality. It's so interesting. And it justifies kind of the whole niche title and everything that kind of interesting fragrances are supposed to be about. So I would not recommend blind buying this. I wouldn't recommend that for anything, as I always say. It is $14 for a sample, which is extremely pricey for a really small sample. But if you like intense scents, if you like Tyrannosaurus Rex zoologist, really fiery, smoky, intense shit like that, I highly recommend trying a sample of this just for the scent experience, because it's amazing. It's not linear, but it's also not drastically different from the opening to sort of the dry down. Just the ambergris kind of comes out a little bit more at that point. It almost has like a slight soapy powderiness to it as well, but wow, this is so interesting. And if you're bored of just trying the same kind of fragrances over and over, I think this will jolt your senses enough to give you a kick. So if you try it, let me know what you think, and I'll put a link to get a bottle or sample in the description.